We all have that one friend who insists on buying the newest phone model, even if their current one is practically brand new. They're all about wearing clothes with fancy brand logos, but don't actually invest in the companies. And let's not even start on their shoe or video game collection. It's worth more than what some of us shelled out for our first car. Knowing roughly how much they earn, it's puzzling to see them living as if their income were 4 times higher. In cash, you never see it. Everything's swiped onto a credit card. They're up to their eyeballs in debt and don't seem to care a bit. It's like they're on this endless chase to look rich, but all they're doing is digging themselves deeper into a financial hole. The quest to look rich is a trap that ensnares many, and it's not just about the money, it hits your mental health too. In this video, we're diving into how trying to look rich is keeping you poor. We'll talk about the dangers of chasing the look of luxury and how it can actually mess with both your bank account and your peace of mind. Welcome to Blue Chip Mindset, the winning mindset for success. If you enjoy the video or learn something new, please give it a like. Trying to look rich is more than just a personal problem, it's an epidemic. Get this, a study from Credit Karma found that the average American household is sitting on a whopping $137,000 in debt. That includes everything: mortgages, credit card debt, car loans, student loans, you name it. And then there's a Federal Reserve study pointing out that almost 67% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense. That's a lot of people just getting by, paycheck to paycheck, all while trying to keep up appearances and making their financial stress even worse. And then there's social media. It's like pouring fuel on the fire. Platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram are constantly throwing these luxury lifestyles at us, making us feel like we've got to keep up or even one-up our friends. But this never-ending race to look wealthy can really backfire. Trying to keep up that wealthy appearance does more than just empty your wallet. It messes with your head. The stress and anxiety of needing to snag the latest high-end stuff or planning those over-the-top vacations can seriously weigh you down. It's like you're always trying to show off, and it can make you feel like you're just not measuring up, chipping away at your self-esteem. And then there's how it hits your sense of self-worth. When you start tying how you feel about yourself to what you own, or the status you think you have, it's a slippery slope. You end up in this endless loop of buying more and more, thinking it'll make you feel better about yourself. But it's like quicksand, dragging you down to financial disaster. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into why real wealth and happiness can't be bought off a shelf. Instead of pouring all of our energy into looking rich, we should focus on beefing up our self-worth and being happy with what we have. Opting for experiences over stuff and laying down a solid financial base with smart saving and investing is the way to a life that's not just rich in appearance, but genuinely rich in satisfaction and joy. Another significant financial consequence of trying to look rich is the burden of high-interest credit card debt. When we constantly try to maintain a certain image, we buy things we cannot afford. This can lead to racking up massive credit card debt, which can be challenging to pay off. Credit card debt is particularly burdensome due to its high interest rates. Many credit cards feature annual percentage rates ranging from 22 to 30%. This means that if you're only making the minimum payment on your credit card balance, you're stretching out the time it'll take to pay off significantly, and you'll end up paying way more in interest. For instance, if you have a credit card balance of $5,000 with an APR of 20%, and you only make a minimum payment of $100 per month, it'll take you over 23 years to clear the debt, during which you will have paid more than $7,000 in interest. Plus, if you're struggling to make those minimum payments, you might fall into the trap of taking on even more credit card debt just to cover your current bills. This starts a vicious cycle of debt that gets tougher and tougher to break free from. If you're nodding along and finding what we're talking about helpful, then please tap that like button as it helps get this info out to more people like you. And subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you aboard. So, what really sets the wealthy apart from the poor? The difference between the rich and the poor is pretty clear. For those with wealth, it's all about keeping that wealth growing. A wealthy individual focuses on making their money work for them. On the flip side, someone struggling financially might be more focused on spending rather than saving or investing it. The wealthy make their money work for them by investing in assets that appreciate over time, aiming for a future where they don't have to work for money anymore. Like Warren Buffett famously said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." It turns out that the average millionaire isn't putting all their eggs in one basket. They've got around 7 different income streams. That's a stark contrast to the average person, who usually relies on just one. This approach to diversifying income streams and focusing on generating passive income is a key strategy for the wealthy. Meanwhile, the average person often finds themselves living paycheck to paycheck, battling the constant pressure of debt. For instance, suppose you have $30,000 at your disposal. This sum could come from an inheritance, or perhaps it's the combination of savings over time. With this amount, you're at a crossroads of financial decision-making. Someone who's not savvy with finances might blow it all on a lavish trip or a new car, even if their current ride is perfectly fine. But remember, a car's value goes down with each mile you drive it and the longer you own it. A person with real wealth wisdom would think twice before spending on something like a car that loses value each month. Sure, there are exceptions, but you'd be surprised to learn that most millionaires aren't cruising around in the flashy cars you see on Instagram. In fact, a recent study by Baintree.com revealed that only 23.5% of millionaires buy their cars new. And when they do decide to buy a car, half the time they're picking American-made vehicles, with the Ford F-150 pickup being a favorite for 3 out of 10 millionaires. Should a windfall of $30,000 come their way, the investing habits of the wealthy suggest a different path. Many millionaires prioritize assets that not only hold their value, but also offer the potential for appreciation and income. Real estate stands out as a preferred avenue, with a staggering 90% of millionaires holding property investments. This $30,000 could serve as a down payment on a rental property, providing both a tangible asset and a source of ongoing income. Or they might look to the stock market. Thanks to technology, investing has become incredibly accessible. You can start investing in just a couple of minutes from your smartphone. A smart move could be putting that $30,000 into an exchange-traded fund, like the SPY, which mirrors the performance of the S&P 500. With an average annual return of about 10%, that initial $30,000 could swell to almost $78,000 in 10 years. And in 20 years, it could balloon to almost $202,000. The way the less financial savvy view and use money is in stark contrast to the rich. It's crucial to grasp that real wealth isn't about flashy possessions or looking rich, but about what your net worth really is, what you own minus what you owe. So, before spending big on something just for show, ask yourself, is this going to be an asset or a liability? If it's the latter, it's probably not a wise choice. I hope you enjoyed the video or learned something new. If so, please like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Until next time.